not your body that's the problem, it's your mind. And this world that we're living in. Today we are talking about body confidence, how I got it and how you can too. I'm gonna share my tips as well as go through my journey to get to this point, especially working in the fashion industry that really truly has its own ideas of what is considered beautiful. If you are new here, I am Jen. I'm a 41-year-old woman based in Tampa, Florida. I actually just moved here from the DC area with my husband and our 3 children, and I have been in the fashion industry now since 2009, and not in the traditional fashion industry. I started off vlogging, and then that came into influencing, and now I think the term is content creator. So I have been showcasing and putting myself out there with my outfits for over a decade now. So I definitely have some tips and tricks that I can teach you if that's something that you're interested in, or even if it's not about putting it out on social media, it is being able to walk out the doors every single day with a fly outfit that you feel amazing in and making those streets your runway. So let's get into it. When I was young, I was extremely shy. You can ask anyone who knew me. If you looked at me wrong, actually no, if you looked at me, I cried and I cringed and I, hid my face. And I moved here in 1988 from Haiti. Didn't speak a lick of English, not one. I might have known hello and bye. I'm gonna give myself that. I didn't know any English, and I know I was completely different. I had huge ribbons in my hair and braids, and one day something snapped within me. And you know what? No more. I cannot be scared of everyone that looks at me or talks to me because they are human beings just like me. There is nothing more special about them than me. And I remember doing this at a pretty young age. Even if I'm shy, I'm gonna force myself to do certain things. And I think that was the catalyst to me getting to the point where I didn't care about others' opinions as much. But that doesn't say that I stopped. Because I'll tell you one thing, there was an opinion that was always in my head, and that was definitely my mom's opinion. Like I said, I'm Haitian. And if you know anything about Haitians or even immigrant parents, they are extremely hard on you and they want you to be the best. But not only that, they try to say that they don't, but they do. There are a lot of side comments. There are a lot of optics. Optics play a huge role. So what I mean by that is you always have to look the part, because God forbid anyone see you and you don't look the part, because it's going to be a reflection on them as parents or just them. You can't have that. It is always about how you're perceived by the outside world. It is never about how you feel. Like if you're wearing something and you look amazing to yourself, it's going to be, well, why'd you wear that? Because that's not blah, blah, blah. So-and-so is going to think you don't have money. I say that because I remember when I first started my blog and I did a lot of thrifting because that's what I could afford, but also because I'm all about personal style and I wanted to be able to wear something that was a little bit more unique. I wasn't someone who fell into the trends and the brand names. Like I wanted to showcase my style because there's a huge difference between style and fashion. I always deemed myself a personal style person. And I remember I was doing YouTube videos way back then and my mom would, well, why do you have to say that you're thrifting the clothes? Like people are gonna think you don't have money or that we don't have money for you. And I was just like, what? But I look cute. Like, why didn't you say something about that? So that's when I really learned one about optics and one that I really wanted to rebel. I'm going to be opposite. I'm not going to care what anyone thinks about because it was too much for me. So I said, I'm going to do the absolute opposite. I do have a little bit of a rebellious streak anyway. If I was told, oh my goodness, your legs are so big, you shouldn't wear that skirt, I would immediately go into the mirror and say, you know what? Look at those legs. Girl, you just ran the 100 faster than everyone because of those legs. Now these legs, they deserve to be on display. Go wear that skirt. Instead of letting your voice invade my head, I'm gonna be so loud in my own head about myself that eventually it's going to become a habit. So now let's get into what you can do to gain more body confidence or just confidence in general, so that way you can make those streets your runway every single time you get dressed. Number one, and this is going to sound incredibly cliche, and it's so much easier to say than it is to do, but I want you to really pay attention and listen to me. The only voice that matters is your own. The only voice that matters is your own. You have to have so much tunnel vision about your own beauty to the point where you cannot hear anyone else's judgments, critiques, feedback, suggestions about your clothes, your weight, your figure, your height, your skin texture, any of it. It has to become so innate in you that you're like, I am beautiful because I am unique and because there's no one like me. And there are simple ways for you to go ahead and do that. Number one, obviously, is something that sounds a little corny, but it definitely helped me, is looking at yourself in the mirror, and instead of picking yourself apart, you really appreciate yourself for what you have. To not always thinking of your body as just aesthetics and make it about what your body does for you every single day and why you should highlight that in some fabulous clothing. So that is number one. The only voice that matters is your own. So make that voice so incredibly positive and uplifting, and I promise you, eventually it becomes habit for your brain, and any negative talk will just out the window. Number two, this is more clothing focus. Like, figure out outfits that make you feel and look your best. So I have specific outfit combinations that I always am drawn to, that I always feel and look my best. One of which is I love a teeny tiny little bra top, some high waist jeans or pants. Specifically, if it's pants, it's gonna be a wide leg, but we'll talk about that later. And I like an oversized button down or a duster over it. Like, this is just my vibe. This is what I feel very comfortable and sexy in. You can add heels, sandals, platforms, sneakers, but I always just gravitate towards this because it makes me feel good. So that's one of my outfit combinations. Another is wearing a more fitted top and then a voluminous bottom. I like to do that with skirts, and I love a skater skirt, a pleated skirt, something short, because even if they are large, I have some shapely legs. Like, you know how sometimes people will have like thick thighs but then no calves to match it? I got it all, and I love it. So I do like to show that off, and I love the look of a skater or an A-line skirt to do that. And the reason is it creates a shape for me. So it'll kind of push me out where I might have large thighs, but I don't have hips. So it creates that illusion for me. And so that's one of my outfit combinations that I'm drawn to. Another will be a blazer with a nipped in waist. Again, I'm still trying to create that look. And it's not because that's the beauty standard, it's just what I like to see. I'm all about balance, and I like to create balance in any way, shape, or form. So tip number 3, and this one is probably going to be a little controversial in one way or another, but stop only following on social media or only allowing women or men that don't resemble you to be what you see day in and day out. What I'm saying is, we are already bombarded with what algorithms and society deems the beauty standard. So that's already being pushed out to us without our control. So there's one thing that we can control, and that is who we follow or look at. So stop following people that do not even remotely resemble you, because what happens is it will eat away at your confidence, because you'll see them wearing a certain outfit and then you put it on, and because in your head you think it should look how it looked on them and it doesn't on you, you will automatically start with a negative talk or downplaying yourself or just not feeling good. So if you can control it, go ahead and start following and putting in your eyesight people who resemble you. That could be skin color, that could be height, that could be abilities, that could be figure, that could be size. There's so much. But once you start seeing it so much, you're gonna brainwash yourself into seeing that this is the norm. This is beauty. This is amazing. And you're gonna start to feel it about yourself too. So that's something that I've been working on, is especially Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I get a lot of ideas from Pinterest, but every single time I look it up, it is always like straight size women who, even when I was a size 4, I didn't resemble that. And so it didn't give me an adequate reflection of what the clothes were going to look like until I started really doing my best to find women who looked like me. And I'm not just saying like plus size in general, because unfortunately, like I said before, not unfortunately, but like I said before, I have a straight up and down figure and I don't have an hourglass, and a lot of the plus size representation out here is hourglass. So even then, it just doesn't look the same on me. I'll buy a dress, like a bodycon dress or something, which is very rare, but I have seen it on a plus size woman who is hourglass, and then I get it and I'm like, this ain't doing what I thought it was going to be doing. And then I'm going to start, feeling a certain way about it. And we're not trying to feel a certain way, except for beautiful and fantastic and that girl. So that is one of my tips, is to diversify a little bit who you follow and whose outfit ideas you see on a daily basis. In the end, confidence is internal. It is about the work that you do for yourself. It is about listening to your own voice. It is about doing your best to eliminate anything that's going to take away from your confidence. Obviously, it's very hard sometimes. You might have family members or coworkers or just people in your life that don't make it easier. And I'm not saying, get rid of those people, but get rid of their voices, because their voice does not matter. It is all about what you think of yourself and how you want to present yourself in the world. And the other thing that I want you to think of is, whatever it is, there's always a solution. If there's a problem, there's a solution, and we can find that solution together. And I do mean we. What I'm saying is, I'm a community focused girl. I want to help others get to a place where they are happy and they feel beautiful and amazing as I do. And I'm not saying I always do. There are certain things about my body that I want to change, but you will never see me not wearing what I want to wear because of the size or shape of my body. So I want to help you guys get there as well. Feel free to DM me, messaging me, whatever your concerns are, and I'm gonna help you. If it's a clothing concern, we're gonna talk about it. If it's where to shop, we can talk about it. Like, I'm legit here for you all, because I, in many ways, had to do it myself, and I don't want that for you. Like, you've got a bestie here who's willing to talk you through any problem, and we're gonna find a solution. So use it. Will say though, I'm no therapist, so I'm not going to be talking about your trauma, your triggers, any of that, because I'm not trying to get in any trouble. I'm not a therapist. This is not medical advice. This is not therapy. If not standard therapy. This is going to be like fashion therapy, style therapy. Let's have some fun and show the world that we are badass women therapy. But that's it. So if you liked this video, please go ahead and subscribe. You can see a lot more of my fashion, my styling, even more confidence tips over on my Instagram. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to me. And I'm gonna leave you with this. We get dressed and we spread confidence. Oh, another last minute tip. I know, because I always have a last minute tip, but get dressed every single day. I promise you it does wonders for you. Even if you don't leave the house, get dressed, get dolled up. The more you see yourself looking beautiful, the more you're going to be like, yeah, I am beautiful. Going to the grocery store, put on an outfit. Like, also get used to, you know, people looking at you a certain way, because you can look at them and smile like, or I know I look really cute, and keep it moving. So yes, go to my Instagram, look at my fashion things, subscribe if you like this video. We have so much more. Next video is going to be my Walmart fashion spring finds video, because let me tell you, I got some cute clothes that I can't wait to show you. And in the meantime, you can peruse over to my other videos. I've got tons and tons and tons. The vlogs are but the fashion stuff is really good. Thank you so much for stopping by, for watching, and I hope that you too will get dressed and spread confidence. Bye. You want to tell them?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell them?
I'm brown.
That you want to go around?
Yeah.
Can you tell the people that they are beautiful? Say, I'm pretty.
I'm pink.
I'm smart.
I'm not.
I'm wonderful.
I'm pretty.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to teach her confidence and to know that it is not always about what she looks like. She is beautiful, she's kind, she's smart, and she is capable. So.